Starting off, I really do appreciate all the folks that are here. What y'all do covering Jacksonville State University and our football program allows us to have the reach we need to sustain what we're trying to do here. The better the coverage, the better the recruiting, and everything else that we're trying to get done. Of course, we have to give you something worth covering, and I guess that I expect that we will be a team worth following for anybody that has the interest in Jacksonville State football, and that is a significant and a growing group, as I can tell. This is really going to be a unique season when you're somewhere, we're going into the 12th year here, when you're somewhere that long. This is longer than any place I've ever been. You gain different perspectives over time, and my perspective of this year is that it should be the best we've ever experienced, because I think there are more things in place now that it takes to do it right. There's new leadership in the football program, starting with Warren Kogel coming in as our athletic director, and Warren and I had a chance to coach together at Wyoming one year, and he's got a tremendous background in football. And you go from there to the adjustments we made in the coaching staff. We have some new coaches, but we also have some coaches coaching different positions. We've got a new, I think, attitude in our senior leadership, and I think we're gonna take a new approach, a new approach on defense. And as we evolve, we're probably going to end up taking a somewhat new, different approach on offense. Along the way, hopefully we'll be a lot different in our kicking game, because in 11 years, I haven't been satisfied with it. It's been one of my biggest frustrations as a head coach is getting consistency in that area. But we have players. I think we have a quality coaching staff. I think we have the best support beyond that we've ever had, all the way across the board. I think we've defined our culture differently, in a positive way. But it still comes down, and what you're covering is games and game results. We've been picked to win the league, which I think we have on a regular basis, but we haven't won the league on a regular basis. So I think we've been somewhat, I haven't met my own standards personally here lately, coaching standards. I mean, the way we finished the year last year is the way we're going forward into next year. We didn't finish the year very good. Came up short in a lot of ways, and had to be a lot of things reevaluated. Thus, the changes that I've talked to you about have been the result of that. But I have a lot of confidence in our players. I think if you look right now, there's two things that stick out about this football team that over the years I've come to put the highest expectations on. One is when you've got a front four that can win on every down against the run and the pass, and you've got a quarterback that can do whatever it takes to win and close out a game. The combination of those two things together, I think I'll make reference to Auburn, last year. And that seems to be a standard for high expectations. It is, and those two areas are the best two areas of this football team. They're well coached, they're experienced, and they're talented. There's a lot of expectations within those groups from the players themselves. I think the standards, as we talk about, that have been set for what there is to achieve. And when you're a defensive front, I think you've got to expect to be able to get the other team's quarterback, and you've got to expect to be able to make the critical plays in the running game and the passing game. At quarterback, I think the expectation is whatever the final solution is to winning a football game, you're going to make those plays. And you know, Marquez Ivory and with Cody mixed in, which I don't know quite honestly, and you're probably going to ask that question. In fact, we're going to start out just like we did last year. Cody will be playing in every game, and we do have a rotation, hopefully, in that defensive line also. It's hard to be fast twitch for 4 quarters if you're not working on a rotation, and we have depth there. So I guess the other thing notably is the addition of Washaun Ely as a running back. I put Washaun on an equal with Ryan Perilou when Ryan came in. I've tried to explain this. I think my team understands this, but when you bring in a player that's established, I give them equity. Whatever was accomplished where they were at stacks up the same way here, as long as I have a trust factor, and as long as they're accountable. Washaun has been here through the summer, and I know the people that coached him at Georgia, and I've done all the due diligence I could, and I think we have, you know, I think we have enough information to say that this guy's going to be our lead guy. I'd like to get back to being a better running football team. Last year, I think we just completely lost our ability to run the ball by the end of the year, due to injury primarily, due to physical things. And we hope to pick that up and get back to where we've been before in terms of, you know, how that's all going to work out. It's like it was with Ryan. There's a lot of things you don't know, but you just, you know, try to have open communication and adjust as you go. You know, Ronnie's actually going to be building an offense in August. Coach Letson is, and he's very capable of doing it. You know, he's done enough different kinds of things, and the system is broad enough, and he's capable enough that, you know, we'll find what our offense needs to be as we go through this month. I might say I've mentioned Ryan's name a couple of times. You know, Ryan, if he was here, he'd be walking across the stage today with his degree, because he spent all summer here, made 3 A's and a B. A lot of people felt like that was a mercenary effort when we went and got Ryan. He's had a write-up yesterday in the Washington Post, or the New York Post. You know, we expect, and he has become a face of this university. They didn't say Ryan Perilou from LSU. They said Ryan Perilou from Jacksonville State, and didn't even mention LSU. Okay, well, that's where I'm sure there's going to be this little character qualification of Washaun in Georgia for a while, but eventually he'll be Jacksonville State. That's what he wants. That's why he came here, and somewhat he'll define us. And there's some things, just like with Ryan, we'll redefine him. And you know, I think that's a good merger. So a lot of things I can't wait to find out, that we're only going to find out by going to work, and that starts tomorrow morning. I expect us to be the best we've ever been, but the only thing that really matters is getting to UT Martin, first conference game on a Thursday, September the 1st, and showing up and making sure people still want to come back and see us play when it's over with.
Good. It sounds like, just say with your attitude, that you guys gave yourself your own gut check.
Well, gut check may be the word. Commitment may be. You know, there's some things you don't question. You know, we never had a day that I didn't think that we couldn't face our own failings. But I think our preparation let us down to some degree. And, you know, it's been as important to me to keep up what they've done in June and July, even May, June, and July, to see, you know, if everybody's on the same page commitment-wise. But there is a recommitment. I mean, revival, if you want to call it that. There's a lot of things you could call it, but I think there's a higher standard for more than just being a football player that can make plays. It's about getting one of these. You know, I never used to wear these things, and I got quite a few of them because my story was I always wanted the next one. The next one was the most important one to me, not one from Auburn in 1983. But I put this thing back on to remind me and remind those players. I just stuck it up in front of y'all. I stick it up in front of them all the time. How many of you guys in here got one of these? That's the answer. That's not good. Because we've been winning a lot of games, but there's a little different standard when you know, you go after the gold, so to speak, and you know, that sort of revival, or I want to call it gut check, raising the standard back to the championship level. You know, I told them I'm not going to handle this well if that's not where we end up.
Is it the first year one or the second year? Is that 03 or 04?
This was 03, which we weren't a very good football team. And when we got to Western Kentucky in the first round of the playoffs, they showed us we weren't. I think they won. If they didn't, they went right down to it. But we had some elements of character. We had some elements of commitment that were beyond our talent level. I'm not sure here lately that the other wouldn't be the case. Maybe we were more talented than our commitment. And they both better be the same, or there's enough competition on this team, we'll just say next. But I really am telling you, I sense that their work leading up to this is going to prove out that we're going to get back to where we're supposed to be.